Hey everybody. So this is not going to be like a tarot video, but it's more like an energy check-in. And there's just some things that I want to say about current energies that I've been experiencing and that I've heard from other women that they've been experiencing lately as well. Okay, so there is an increased amount of street harassment going on, and it's not just street harassment, it's other things like people trying to take advantage of other people. Scammers are out and about everywhere right now. Many of you, I know that you already know this, but it's just everywhere. It's on, you know, Facebook Marketplace. It's on dating sites. It's fucking everywhere right now, and there's a big increase in it right now. And I think a lot of what is driving these things, like the particular increase that we're seeing lately in it, I think what a lot of it is that inflation is going up and things are just costing more, and it's causing some people to resort to, doing underhanded shady shit, basically. The one thing that I really want to address right now is street harassment. Okay, it's something that, and I feel very, very, very passionate about it, and I've always felt very passionate about street harassment. Women's protection is a very big deal for me, and I know it's not just women that get harassed. So, but I do feel like women in general get harassed more than men. So, excuse me, allergies. So, I just want to kind of talk about some of my experiences. And, another thing is I do, for me, as many of you know, I am a follower of the Norse goddess Freya, and she is a protector of women, is historically speaking. So, I follow, other deities in religion as well. But the main one is her. And obviously I follow God in heaven, and that's just my personal preference. But I don't really want to get into a topic about deities right now too much, because that's a topic for another time. But I do want to say that, that being said, I want to talk about street harassment per se. Okay. So recently, where I live, we live in a safe neighborhood, my roommate and I do. And I'm going to try to keep this as kind of, I don't want to take up too much video time, but I'm going to try and be to the point about it as much as possible. So recently there is a guy that is in this area that I live in, and my roommate, she's aware of everybody that lives around here, and she has told me that, he's new. But basically, he started basically trying to knock on my window and say, hey, can you roll down your window? I was just sitting in my car at the time, and I don't usually sit idle in my car for very long anywhere, but my data on my phone was loading slow, and I needed to use my GPS to get where I was going, so that's why I was doing that. Had my doors locked and everything else, but he comes up to me, and he's like, hey, can you roll down the window, and I'm like, and normally what I do when people do things like that, which hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I did live in this town a few years ago. Well, it's been a while back actually, where people would frequently try to knock on your windows, and they were always trying to scam you for money. But I've never had somebody do it so aggressively as this one. So basically, what happened is he keeps persisting on me to roll down the window. And I normally do not engage with these people at all, because that's the worst thing that you can do, is just even acknowledge them. Usually I just, leave right away, and I'm like, no, and that's it. But I was curious as to why he was in our neighborhood, because there's just not people around like that where we live. So it was concerning for me. And, he just kept on. He's like, can you roll down your window? And I'm like, no. And I said, what is the problem? He could hear me through the glass. I said, what is the problem? And he said, he said, well, I was just walking around the back part of where you live. I'm your neighbor. I live behind you. And he's like, and your porch light was on. I noticed that it was on or off or some stupid shit like that. Trying to do the good neighborly thing, and everything. And I was like, that's literally all I did. And he's like, okay, well, you don't have to be such an asshole. And then he just walks away. And I was just like, what the hell just happened? I mean, I wasn't even starting anything with this guy, nothing. It was crazy. And, I just brushed it off, and then I was talking to, a friend of mine about it, and she's like, you should carry scissors, and you should definitely get your mace. And I haven't carried my mace on me in a while, but I definitely started doing it, and I started carrying scissors with me, because I'm well within my right to do so. So I did that. Fast forward like a day and a half, I think it was like the day after the next day, he saw me again, and I was walking to my car, and he was talking to somebody else in their car at their window again. So that was kind of interesting to me. And he goes, he saw me. I decided to cut across the yard to get to my car, because it was parked at the end, and because I wasn't even trying to get near him or anything, and he just turned around and looked at me, and then just started making these noises, and I didn't even engage again, didn't say anything, and it was just so bizarre. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of my story. But I've talked to other women before lately, and I know that street harassment is not a new thing at all, and there are cities that it is really bad in, like New York, and I think DC is like the #1 place in the United States, statistically speaking, that it happens more than anywhere. But, going back to the energy check-in that I want to talk about, a lot of people don't really think about street harassment. They don't, it's not really something that's talked about on a regular basis, but it needs to be addressed. I mean, it's getting out of hand, and there's an increase in it lately. And I've talked to other women that have had similar situations lately, and it's getting weird. And I currently live in the state of Texas. You wouldn't think that a place like Texas, that this would happen, because, Texas is known to be like this friendly state and all this, and you just wouldn't think it would happen. But I'm telling you, it does happen here. And ladies, you need to start carrying something with you to protect you. Okay, if you're having this happen to you, I mean, I think every woman should carry mace or pepper spray, but you need to start carrying something with you, okay? Because this is getting out of hand. I mean, I think maybe one of the reasons that it's happening, that I'm starting to see, weirder behavior in Texas in general, is that there are people moving in from other places here, a lot of them. And I'm not saying that everybody that's from California or everybody that's from the East Coast is an asshole or a criminal. I'm not. I have known people from there. I have known some really great people from both places. And that's not the case for everyone. But those are two notoriously known places for bad shit to happen. It's both of those places are not good places, for women, and obviously we can't always change where we live, automatically, or maybe we don't want to, but I think it's influences from other places coming in, but I know that there are people in this state that do it too. Because I've had instances in the past where men have catcalled me, and I mean, I know it. I know that they're locals because I can tell from their accent. But you know, I'm really one thing that I really notice, and I think it's because of my ASD, and it's not something that a lot of people really pay attention to, is social norms. I majored in anthropology when I went to college. That was the bulk of what I studied, and so I've always been interested in like customs and people and like norms and stuff from other places. The history of other places and how people function and things like that has always been fascinating to me. And I just want to say something. Like, let me give an example. I don't know what the social norms are like in every single state in America, okay, or even in other countries if you're watching this, but because I've never traveled outside the United States before, but I know how some of them are in a few places. For instance, I live in Texas. Texas is a place where people say, "Hi, how are you?" all the time as a greeting, okay? It's just the way people do it here. And people are really sociable in Texas. So what I'm trying to say is there are social norms here, and particularly in the Deep South, that people are just kind of used to following if they're from here. And even if they move here after a while, they get used to following it because it's just, the formalities and stuff that how people deal with each other. But here's the thing, you have to stop sometimes and think about what you're saying to the wrong person, because if you are friendly, the thing is that, okay, I was in an abusive situation years ago with a guy, and I went through some counseling. And one of the things that they taught me in the counseling was the cycle of abuse. And if you've ever been in an abusive relationship, you know what I'm talking about. And one of the things that it talks about, that I was told in counseling, was if you even acknowledge a guy. And I know that there's going to be some debate over this, and I get that, and that's fine. But I stand where I stand, and I believe what I believe on this. Here's the thing. You can be like friendly and be like, "Hi, how are you?" And be sociable and everything, because that's part of the society that you grew up in or the society that you live in. But here's the thing. They teach you through the cycle of abuse that even acknowledging a guy that is, like a predator or an abuser or something like that, that's actually how he gets in, like in your your space. Like that's how they get mentally in. Okay, that's one of the ways. And here's the thing, if you're being really sociable and you're being really conversational and you're just trying to be polite, right, because of social norms, and I know social norms are different everywhere, and I get that, but if you're just following social norms, you could actually be giving that person the wrong impression, and they may be the wrong kind of person. Okay, so here's the thing. I want you to stop when you feel uneasy around a guy that you feel like keeps harassing you, okay, keeps catcalling you, whatever, or you just get a creepy vibe about them. Because listen to your gut. You know what I'm talking about. When you get a creepy vibe about somebody, you don't want to be around them, right? So do not engage them. Do not talk to them. Do not do any of that. Okay? Just stay in your lane and do your own thing and just ignore it. Seriously. And carry something with you to protect yourself. Okay? The other thing I want to talk about, these kinds of situations can lower your vibration, your energy, okay? They could put you in a state of panic, in a state of fear, in a state of, oh, I'm always watching out where I'm going, things like that. Yes, they can do that. Here's the thing, you always need to watch your back if you feel like somebody is watching you. And I mean, I would, advise always watching your surroundings anyway, because you don't know who's lurking around. And I'm not trying to instill fear into anybody's minds, but it is a really crazy ass time right now. And people they're really there's just a lot of crap going on. I'm sorry if you hear noise. It's really weird. I think that's coyotes. That's coyotes. That's crazy. We do have a field kind of behind where I live though. But so that's what that noise is. Anyway, back to the energy check-in thing. You need to find something to cleanse your space with, because even when you're not even when you're not like the person who's harassing somebody or trying to do some sketchy shit, even if you're around people like that, that energy can lower your vibration. Okay. And it can put you in a state of like just feeling crappy and feeling hopeless and things like that. And we don't want to be there very long, right? In those situations. We don't want to have our vibration lowered. So guys, you need to cleanse your space. Okay. You need to cleanse your space. Get sage. Many of you already know this, but saging is a really good way to instantly cleanse your space of anything negative. Do it around your room. Do it in your doorways. Your doorways are a big one, okay? Because that's how people enter in, right? Physically, and how they can enter in spiritually if it's something from the other side. But sage your door frames. And I will tell you this right now. There are some people who carry demonic attachments on them. This is very, very real. It is. I feel like that the guy that I was referring to earlier that was bothering me in my neighborhood, I believe that he has a demonic attachment on him. And if you are a light worker or anybody who works in, who believes like in a higher power, in a good higher power, if you are anybody that works in the light, okay, you don't have to necessarily do Reiki or teach tarot or do tarot readings or anything like that. All you have to do is believe, in good, and, that good will prevail. If you are a light worker, that makes you a light worker, okay? Even if you're not doing it for a living. If you work in the light and you pray in the light, I'm telling you, these people, they are watching us. They are. These people that are doing this kind of crap, they have negative attachments on them. This is very real. And I'm not doing this to scare anyone. I am doing it so that you can be aware and that you can protect yourself. I am an INTJ. That's my personality type that I fall on the Myers-Briggs spectrum. Okay, so I give it to people straight about what's going on. And my downloads, my spiritual downloads, they come to me really fast. Okay, so when I get them, they hit me really fast, and I need to talk about them. And this is something that I feel like people need to really understand. So if you are ever in a situation where you don't know someone, you've never even met them, or you've been around them maybe a couple of times, but let's just kind of keep it simple. Like people that you don't know, that may give you like a terrible look, and they don't even know you, they've never had any interaction with you. This has happened to me before a few times. And they look at me like they hate me. I'm serious. Those are the people that have negative and demonic attachments on them. So you need to keep your space clean. You need to keep your energy clean. You need to cleanse your aura on a regular basis, okay? Because these people are looking to lower your vibration, and good always prevails, okay? It does. But people that have negative attachments on them, they are trying to lower your vibration. And if you let them into your space, or if they're around you, if you find yourself in a situation like I did, where you're not even doing anything and these people just kind of like verbally or physically even attack you, then they are seeking to lower your vibration. And when your vibration is low, you get weaker, you get mentally weaker, and you get in a state of, I don't know what to do, that type of thing. I'm going to be making some videos on things that will help you cleanse your aura, and things that will help protect you in times like these. But I'm telling you guys, this street harassment thing, it's real. So if I know that some women just shake these things off. Like, they're like, oh no, they're just trying to be nice or whatever, and and some people think, that that it's good to like sit there and I don't want to say entertain it, but like just answer questions that they're asking you. Do not engage with these people. They are not good, and they are looking to start drama. They are looking to screw you somehow, okay? So do not engage with these people. I don't care what anyone says, because that's how they think they can manipulate you, is once you let them into your energetic field. And you are letting someone into your energetic field when you engage in conversation with them. You are. Okay? So I just wanted you to keep that in mind, and I really felt like this needed to be heard. Again, I'm going to be making some videos in the future about how to, keep your vibration up, and how to, cleanse your space of anything, that might be, like residual energy is what I'm talking about. Because you can carry things from a situation over into your present, life. Like, okay, that person really pissed me off. That person, treated me like crap or something like that. And, or that person, just approached me out of nowhere, like this guy did, like I was telling you all about earlier. And just started crap with me, you can carry that into your space, and it can make you feel hopeless, and that lowers your vibration, lowers your defenses. So just, you got to keep your vibration up. You really do. Okay. And that's really all I had to say tonight about that. But I will be back with another video soon. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I am looking and working on collaborating, or sorry, not collaborating. I don't know what I was talking about. Maybe I was talking about my twin self, because I'm a Gemini. My other self. I'm collaborating with my other self. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and just bring awareness to it. I know a lot of you are probably already aware of it, but if you think that somebody is trying to take advantage of you, listen to your gut, because your gut is never going to steer you wrong in those kinds of situations. It's not. Don't just take it lightly or anything. And I'm not saying that all men are assholes. That's not what this video is about. I'm not a feminazi or anything like that. But, unfortunately, there are some men out there that really do believe that they're entitled to women. They do. Whether or not, they're wearing tight clothes when they go out, or where, they're not dressed like that at all. They're just dressed kind of proper. It doesn't matter. I mean, straight harassment happens to both types, and it shouldn't matter what you're wearing or anything like that, because we do not deserve to be treated like this at all. It's ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe it's 2023 and men are still acting like this. It's fucking mind-blowing. It really is. But anyway, that's all I had to say, and I'll be back with something else soon. I don't know how soon. I'm kind of dealing with some stress of my own right now, but I've just got a lot of things going on. But I'll be back. I'll be back soon. You guys take care. Bye.